Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to your daily transfer update. And after a bit of a quiet weekend on the Chelsea news front, new week, Monday, over halfway through the transfer window now, and we've had a flurry of news. There's actually plenty of stuff to cover today, people. We've got Chelsea potentially looking for a short-term fix from Saudi Arabia to solve the striker issue, with Karim Benzema and Robert Firmino named as possible short-term loan deal options. We've been linked with Aston Villa striker Johan Duran, I think is his name. 20 years old. He's a backup to Ollie Watkins. I'm not really sure what the John Duran, he's been discussed internally at Chelsea as a potential short-term option. Not really sure what the thinking is behind that. Christopher Nkunku's pushing to return to training this week. We've got information about Ian Maatsen's buyout clause, his release clause, believed to be around £35 million. Chelsea still have interest in Michael Olise, which they might revive in the summer. There's loads going on, people. Loads and loads of news, which is, a nice way to start the week, but still nothing majorly concrete, guys. Nothing majorly concrete thus far. But yeah, lots to dive into, the ins and outs of Firmino and Karim Benzema. These short-term loan deals from Saudi sound great in principle. When you actually dig into the bones of it, it's not as easy to get done as you think. There are definitely pros and there are also definitely cons to the situation. Reece James, of course, posted that he's doing well on Instagram as well. We're going to dive into all this stuff. Big up to everyone that's already locked in. Appreciate the support as always. Please make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here as well. Remember, guys, if we hit 8,000 subscribers before the end of the month, there will be a giveaway. So please make sure you are hitting that subscribe button if you're new around here. And as always, guys, 50 likes is the minimum target, but we always aim for 100. Let's get to 50 first. So please do smash the like button, guys. We're on 21 likes already, so let's ramp that up and let's dive into the show. Please, of course, I'll try and read as many of the comments in the chat as I can. But obviously, I won't be able to read them all. So if you want to guarantee your comment gets read out, then please do use the super chat function. Any donation is greatly appreciated by myself and the channel. And of course, guys, if you want to support me, then you can click the link in the description and become a channel member for just $1.99 per month. A big up, everyone. Let's say hello to a few people in the chat, and then we're going to get this show on the road. I think, what was that? Is that working? No, that's for some reason. Oh, no, we're good. We're back in the game. I think that if we get Firmino or Benzema, that means, it'll be 6 months. Yeah, it won't be a permanent deal or anything like that. I'd be happy to bring in someone on 6 months loan. I would as well. And Nkunku could be back. Yep. Yeah, the money thing. We're going to dive into the Benzema stuff. Happy Chelsea. Oh, yeah, of course as well. Chelsea are in compliance with the Premier League profit and sustainability rules and are therefore safe for another year, which has wound a lot of people up. Yes, brother, big up. Yeah, not bad. Thanks. Hope you had a good one. I was at Chelsea match on Saturday. Yes, we won. No, I hear what you're saying. Yes, big up, brother. Yeah, make sure you're smashing them likes. Both are great short term. I agree. Reece James posted he's doing well. Yeah. Duran has 2 goals. If we get a striker, it's the score. I absolutely agree on that. Yes, Nick, big up, bro. Hope you're doing well. 100% we have passed our finance figures, so rivals continue to cry. Yeah, I tell you what, right? You can accuse this ownership of a lot of things, but one thing they're fucking good on is their numbers. They're not going to get their numbers wrong. They're really not. None of these types of loan have worked in the past, though. No, and again, that's another possible drawback, which I'm going to dive into. Why not bring both? Because the reality of that is very difficult, and also we don't really need both, if we're being perfectly honest. If it's short term, why not consider someone like Danny Ings? He's not good enough, really. Yes, big up, brother. I hope you're doing well. Prefer Benzema? Yeah, I hear it. Right, let's dive into this news then, because it obviously came from a Matt Law article, and the way that he phrased it, it was kind of more like an opinion piece, or more of an opinion rather than fact. But it was saying that Chelsea are having to consider the possibility of trying to find a short-term loan option for striker from Saudi Arabia in the form of Roberto Firmino or even Karim Benzema. Now, of course, we've spoken a lot about, striker options this month. Victor Osimhen, Ivan Toney, both guys that are looking like they're going to stay put this month, which is fair enough because a deal of that magnitude is very difficult to do mid-season with the amount of money involved. And so you have to look at alternative options. You either do nothing, you try and bring in an experienced head on loan, which you feel you can make a short-term impact. Although a loan deal like this would sort of seem similar to a Joao Felix loan, where we chucked a lot of money at it, and ultimately we didn't really get too much back from it. Of course, like Karim Benzema is the big name and whatnot, but reportedly not that happy at Al Ittihad, after going there last summer. But I mean, I don't know. For me, if we're talking short-term loan and ability to make an impact straight away, yes, Benzema is a far better player than Roberto Firmino is. But what I would say is Firmino knows the Premier League inside out, and I actually think he'd settle into this team much, much quicker than Benzema would. Let's remember, guys, that Benzema is not like Firmino. They're not doing anything decent in the Saudi league. They're not playing well. They're not scoring many goals. So this idea that they would come in and they would, make a difference and be a success, I think perhaps people are blinded by the names. They're always big names. It's players that have done well for their whole careers wherever they are. But if we look at it on face value, guys, and we see it, and you think, right, okay, Karim Benzema, phenomenal football player. What a career he's had. But looking at Karim Benzema right now, 37 years of age, has been dossing around in the Saudi League for 6 months, not playing an awful lot, not scoring many goals, not making an impact that, people might have expected him to make. Would it make sense for him to come to Chelsea? This would be, again, massively against the norm for what Chelsea are trying to do in terms of their recruitment. It would be an interesting one, wouldn't it? Because part of me would really like to know how this one might work out. Because you could see it going really well, but you could also see it being like another sort of a Falcao or a Higuain sort of type of deal. But Ben Jacobs has added a bit more information on these two players themselves and what the possibilities are of either of them leaving the Saudi Pro League this month. Now, a Karim Benzema exit in January from Al Ittihad is being downplayed by sources, senior PIF and ministry figures intent on keeping him as part of the Saudi Pro League project. A move to Man United has been dismissed. No approach from Chelsea to date either. They are deciding internally what they want to do with the striker. Situation with Bobby Firmino is a little bit different. Al Ahly are happy for him to be loaned out for the right offer. Suggestions that Alexander Mitrovic could be a target for clubs are not true to my understanding. Player is happy and Al Hilal have no intention to listen to offers. They are on course to win the league and competing for the Asian Champions League. And then there's a bit more on Jordan Henderson. So obviously, as you can expect, the Saudi League are keen not to lose some of their big players. Karim Benzema is a massive, massive name for the Saudi League. That deal is going to be a lot more difficult to get done, if at all. Benzema would really have to push for it. Obviously, Roberto Firmino, Al Ahly are open to letting him leave on a loan deal, providing, the big problem with loaning from Saudi is, particularly for the big foreign stars, is that the wages are going to be astronomical. You're going to have to cover a lot of wages because there's no way you're going to get the Saudi club to pay all those wages. You're going to end up paying a lot of money. I would wait until the summer. Fair. I think it's fundamentally how we play possession-based why strikers struggle with us. Could be. Look, Benzema would be a fantastic name, but I actually think Firmino would be better. We're talking 6 months, right, in terms of knowing the league, not really needing to adapt. I think Firmino would actually be a better signing, although Benzema is obviously a much more prolific goal scorer than Firmino is, except he doesn't know the Premier League at all. It would have nothing to do with the norm. This would be a straight loan. No, I fully get that. But again, it goes against this transfer strategy that, this new ownership have been trying to implement. But there's pros and cons to it. I've got no doubt, about the qualities of Karim Benzema. You only have to see what he did at Lyon when he was coming onto the scene, what he did at Real Madrid for all those years. But it does seem, and I know I've said, it would be exciting. Of course it was. But it does seem a little bit strange that people want a stopgap 36-year-old Benzema, who is basically kind of on strike at the moment in Saudi, on loan for 6 months as a solution to the attack. For me, yes, big name, yes, exciting. But do you not just think just feels like Higuain, Falcao, Pato, Aubameyang all over again? Are we not being blinded because it's a big name without actually thinking of the reality. And let's be real. How would Benzema fit into this dressing room? He's got a bit of a checkered past. And do we kind of need that sort of sideshow at the club right now? It has been. Do you know what's been? I know that things haven't been great on the pitch. What's been really nice is how we've avoided kind of just nonsense and poor behaviour from players in the squad. It's been really nice. We don't need to throw. Look, we would be doing Karim Benzema a big favour if we offered an olive branch out for him to come to Chelsea. We don't owe anything to anyone. If we're gonna be doing deals like this, we 100% have to make sure that they are the right player. 100% have to be the right player. And that doesn't just mean in terms of quality. That means in terms of attitude. That means in terms of how they would be around the place and all that sort of thing. Secondly, apart from obviously, the checkered past and kind of smacks of other previous desperation signings we've made, the wage demands would be ridiculous. And the loan fee, even for 6 months, they're going to be huge. What sort of effects would that cause in the dressing room potentially? Would Broja and Jackson feel undermined by it? Potentially, yeah. And of course, as well, if Benzema agrees to join on loan, he's agreeing to join to start and play. He's not agreeing to sit on the bench and be a bit of a rotation player. If he signs on loan, he's signing to play and to play regularly. And that would be the expectation from Karim Benzema. And then obviously you've got the third situation as well, which means if the loan goes badly, then it's going to be used as another, easy stick that you can bash the transfer policy with. But then on the flip side, if it goes really well, suddenly you're going to get pressure from a lot of the fan base to buy a striker that's going to be 37 years old soon and on huge wages and what would be quite a big transfer fee as well. And then that would potentially, negate any chance of getting another proven striker coming in, whether it's Osimhen, Toney, or whoever you want, meaning you just kind of push the striker issue 12 months down the road. And then you've got to look at it. He's gone on strike before. What happens if it doesn't go well here and he goes on strike again? So for me, this kind of feels like a great test to see how reactive we're going to be in the market. This would be a very reactive move if it was me. Last year with João Felix, we jumped on that availability and we got mixed results, people. It wasn't the revolutionary success that everyone thought it was going to be or that we were promised. And I just find it hard to imagine that a move for Karim Benzema would be the same. And people aren't understanding that if Al Ittihad want to get rid of him, they want him off the books for good. They're not going to look for a cheap loan and paying his wages. They're going to want a hefty fee. So all those reasons kind of lumped in together, people, I'm not sure a move for Karim Benzema, as appealing as it is in terms of name, is actually the right thing to do for Chelsea. Why did these not come up? It's really annoying that. Yeah. How much for some reason I can't get the comments to appear on the screen. I'll just have to read them out. It would have nothing to do with the norm. I've done that. How would something is happening in this behind the scenes, but let them get Firmino. But I don't see any Saudi players coming in on loan. It would be like buying a player, too expensive. Yeah, Firmino signing would make more sense than Benzema, comparing their age factor. Can't expect Benzema to play like Silva. No. If I had a choice, I'd go for Mitrovic. Yeah, Mitrovic is, I think, off limits. He's doing well at Al Hilal. Obviously they're playing well. All things are going. They're probably going to win the league. They're in contention in the Asian Champions League. He seems happy there. He's kind of the main guy because obviously Neymar is out injured at the moment. So yeah, all those things. Oh, they are back on the screen now. Jesus. Firmino would make, yep. If I had a choice, yeah, we've done that one. Firmino, for me, he's done it in the Prem. Yep, he has. What else is popping off here? Could have a favour from Saudi, considering we did a lot of business with them in the summer. Nah, it don't work like that. They don't work like that. There's going to be no favours of stars on big money. You're not going to get any favours, people. There are going to be zero favours. So, yeah, we're going to have to suck that one up. There's going to be no favours from anyone on that front. But the Saudi thing is interesting, isn't it? It's going to really test Chelsea's resolve at how sort of reactive they're going to be in this transfer market. And I just don't know the answer. I don't know. No, absolutely agree. Shouldn't sign. Why? Okay, shouldn't sign anyone who thinks they are doing you a favor. No, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I fully agree on that front. Fully agree on that front. Let's get rid of that. What else have we got popping off here? Please just don't give them number 9. Just retire if this happens. Yeah, I agree on that front. It's going to be really interesting to see what Chelsea do. I mean, I don't know if you just heard my reasons here, but not for me. Not for me. Like the cons far outweigh the pros of this potential signing. For me, it's not making sense, and that's kind of the brutal reality of the situation. Is that for the finances and all that, it doesn't seem worthwhile. It really doesn't seem worthwhile. 2 seconds, people. I'm just going to quickly have to turn with this internet. Oh, are we back in the game? Am I still here? Yep, I think are we alive and kicking, people? We're alive and kicking. Can you hear me all right? Can you hear me, people? Let me know. Make sure it's all good. Should be fine now. But yeah, anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, in terms of Saudi, Benzema sounds great in theory, great in principle, but in reality, nah. I'm not. I'll be honest, people. I'm not having it. I'm just not having it. It doesn't. It's not worth for me. It's the juice is not worth the squeeze. The juice is not worth the squeeze. Only Benzema or Firmino in on loan, and bro, you're out on loan for me this January. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Why not for here and now to save the season? But do we? Let's be honest here, guys. Do we honestly think, right? Let's say Benzema were to come in. Do we legitimately, hand on heart, rational thinking, actually believe that Karim Benzema coming in on loan for 6 months is going to save the season? How good do we actually think he would be, if we're being brutally honest? Because essentially he's not really done anything for 6 months. He's been in Saudi. We obviously know the level's not great. For a player of his caliber, should be scoring most weeks in that league, and he's not. Do we really think that at his age, 36 going on 37, that he could come to the Premier League and make an instant impact and score goals that Chelsea need to try and qualify, to try and get as high up the table as possible in the second half of the season? For me, I'm personally not seeing it. If I'm being really honest about it. Thing is, it's a catch-22 for the club right now, because yes, we need someone, but at the same time, we shouldn't just bring someone in for the sake of it. We should only be bringing someone in, whether it's a permanent signing, whether it's a short-term loan deal, if there's value in that deal, and they're the right type of player. I'd almost rather sign no one if it means getting the right person in the summer. We didn't want to make a rash move that's going to, knock us back further down the line. That is what we absolutely do not want to be doing. How's it not making sense? Look, it all sounds great in theory, but when you actually think about it, it doesn't make sense in terms of large wages that would have to be covered, loan fee. The baggage that he brings to the dressing room, his character, checkered past at best. And it does, for me, look, if he comes in and it proves to be a success, then I'm happy to hold my hands up and say I'm wrong. But I've seen deals like this before. Pato, Higuain, Falcao. And it just, for me, strikes like another deal like that. It's not, for me, it's not getting me excited. It's not, I'm not looking at it and thinking, yeah, this is going to be exactly what we need. Yeah, we're all good. We're back in the mix. Good. If we can keep Chilwell, James and Kunku and Chukwuemeka fit and buy an elite striker like Toney or Osimhen, I wouldn't go as far as title contenders, but we would certainly be in a it would be in a much healthier position. He could take the rest of the season to get scoring form. Well, exactly. This is the thing. Like, for me, we've seen Man United do loan deals. Maybe not with the caliber of Karim Benzema necessarily, but we've seen United look for short-term stopgap loans with centre forwards in January. They did the same with Falcao. They've done it with Cavani to an extent, but the obvious ones, Wout Weghorst and fucking Igalo and stuff. Like, generally speaking, these short-term loan deals in January for centre forwards, they tend to be very missed. They don't hit very often at all. They don't hit often at all. Yes, big up to Top Bins. I agree. Shevchenko, Falcao vibes. Give it a wide berth. Yes, big up, brother. Yeah, the way this is again another thing that people don't take into account, as I've been saying, the wages, the loan fee, they're all ridiculous. I get the Higuain, Falcao, but Benzema came off a great season last year. No, but look what he's doing now. You know, yes, what he's done historically will count for does count for a bit, but in terms of now, 6 months in Saudi, he's not going to be in great condition, and he's not playing well. He's not playing well. It's not like, you know, he's banging in loads of goals in the Saudi league. When Reece James comes back, yeah, let's hope so. Yeah, he may well be a leader, but is he the right character for the dressing room? Is he the right character to go in and spearhead kind of this young squad for 6 months? I'm just not sure. And for me personally, if it were to happen, I actually think it would do more harm than good. In my opinion, that's just my view. I mean, look, everyone's entitled to their own views. I'm not saying that I'm right, but for me, it just doesn't feel. It doesn't feel like it's the right thing to do. Yeah, of course, but they've got to be the right players. It's not a case of, oh, let's just go and get some more experience. Doesn't matter who it is. They've got to be the right players. You know, it can't just be like, oh, there's a 36-year-old Karim Benzema. Let's just bring him in. Experience. Like, it's got to be the right players. It's got to be the right fit for the club. They've got to have the right attitude. They've got to be able to, you know, fit in to what we're trying to do. And so those are my worries. Nothing of what these owners have done in the transfer window up until now hints that they'll make a signing like this. Yeah, I absolutely hear you on that, but I think it's something that is definitely being considered. I think that much is fair. I think it's definitely a possibility that it'll be something that's being thought about, but there's a big difference between thinking about something and then actually pushing forward and going to act on it. So for me, I feel personally that this one is a lot of noise about not very much, really. That's kind of how I'm seeing it. But let's wait and see if how this develops at all. Let's wait and see if anything happens as we move further towards the end of the window. If Karim Benzema really wants out as we get closer towards the end of the window, then you could potentially see some movement. So yeah, let's wait and see. I mean, Firmino is obviously one that is definitely available, or is a deal that's going to be a lot more likely to get done. But let's move away from the Saudi stuff and let's move into one of the exclusives from Nathan Gissing earlier, which is one that I don't think anyone was expecting to hear this news today. Again, doesn't mean that this is going to happen by any accounts, but understand 20-year-old Aston Villa striker Jean Duran has been discussed internally at Chelsea recently as a potential short-term option this month. But no final decision has been made yet. There are doubts as to whether there is urgency to get a striker this January due to the risk of signing someone that wouldn't elevate the squad. If Chelsea were to officially move for Duran, then Villa would need a suitable replacement lined up. Chelsea could hold off until the summer with the likes of Napoli striker Victor Osimhen set to be available. So, do you know what? Right, this is a real Duran, isn't it? Exactly. This is a real head scratcher for me, right? I'd love to sit in some of these meetings with these sporting directors and the recruitment team, and when you're looking at Chelsea right now, you're looking at what we need, and I'm thinking, what part of any rational thinking has led to a decision that this month, what we need to help us out is a 20-year-old backup striker from Aston Villa? That's really going to move the needle for us in the second half of the season. I don't understand it. I honestly don't understand what goes on and what goes through these recruitment guys' minds. And what the fuck are we doing here? You know, would this be a loan signing? Would this be a permanent signing? I can't imagine it would be a permanent signing, given we've already got Datro Fofanas on the books. We've got Broja, we've got Jackson. It's not making any sense at all. I mean, that one just appeared out of nowhere. I think he scored 2 goals this season. He's playing back up to Ollie Watkins. Is he better than anything we've got right now? No. I know I don't like Broja, but let's be real. I think Broja probably is better than this guy. But we do. This is like, how can we possibly potentially think that this is going to be the right thing to do? That this is what's going to move the needle for us? How on earth is this moving the needle for us? It's not. This is not moving the needle for us at all. I don't understand where this story even came from in the first place. Like, where on earth has this come from? I'm struggling to understand where it's come from, people. I mean, let's have a look at him. John Duran. Let's bring him up on transfer marks and see what he's been doing. So he's got 2 goals in 14 games for Villa this season. He joined from the MLS. Let's see what is being said about him. Obviously, is he Colombian or is he Ecuadorian? I would get a bit confused with the flags. Medellin is Colombian. Plays as a centre forward. Right. Let's bring his stats up on transfer marks, people, and let's have a look at what he's saying. But I would just love to be in these meetings and love to know what's going on here, guys. I'd love to know what's going on, because it's not making any sense. So he's left-footed. He's a centre forward. He joined Villa basically this time last year from MLS. He's got 1 goal and 8 caps for the Colombia national side, and he was obviously playing for the Chicago Fire. So yeah, what's he done this season? He's got 4 goals. He's scored 2 in the Premier League with 1 assist. He's scored 1 goal in the Conference League, and he scored 1 goal in the Conference League qualifiers. Yeah, there's not really much to go off here. I'll be real. I don't think I've ever seen him play. So I don't want to be disrespectful to the kid. He could develop into a top player. But if we're talking about Chelsea right now and what we need, fuck me. Like, this is not what we need, guys. How are we having meetings and discussing internally 20-year-old strikers as a solution to the centre forward problem this month? I can't get my head around it. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what these people are doing. Like, don't get me wrong, they've got some recruitment right, but I can't. Like, you sit here and you think about it. What discussions are they having in these meetings? And then they come into the conclusion that this could potentially be a good idea, and this would potentially solve our shortfalls in front of goal this month or for the remainder of the season. It's honestly baffling. It is honestly absolutely baffling, people. He's obviously not. He's not a great player. Let's be real. He's obviously still young. But imagine putting him into the Chelsea scenario now. Why would that be a good idea? Why on earth would that be a good idea? Obviously, no final decision's been made yet. Look, he's scored a good goal. He's got potential, absolutely. But he's not what Chelsea need right now. This is not what Chelsea need. How can anyone within the club think that this is what Chelsea need right now? Because it absolutely isn't what we need at all. Apparently, earlier in the month, AC Milan have earlier this month been linked with him. But yeah, it's not making sense. It's not making sense at all. I don't understand it. I just don't get it. But obviously, Chelsea are considering. What else have we got here? No, I agree. My guess is this is a player that's been on the radar for a while. Maybe, I don't know. Weird if we get him. Why don't we just keep Fofana? Yeah, I hear it. Actually, to be fair, we've scored quite a few goals this season. So, like, if it was last season, then yeah, absolutely the case. But actually, this season, not the case. Not the case. I mean, it's come from somewhere. You know, it's a very sort of rogue player to make up. Very rogue player. I don't think this is made up. I think this is obviously come from somewhere, but I don't know where. But yeah, it's for me, it's too obscure just to be made up and just put a name out there. You know, it's too obscure for that in my view. Sporting directors, someone stirring it. This is info that is leaked by Clown Lake to their. I've got no idea. I've got no idea. Yeah, he's having a good season. He's having a good season. So the problem with Jackson and Breyer is that they're inexperienced strikers, and our solution is to buy. Well, I mean, this is not necessarily happening, but apparently it's been discussed internally. But we're still waiting to hear a final decision. Well, let's be honest. We know transfer. Yeah, absolutely. All these unknowns deemed to save the day. Mental. I think the way they are looking at players is who can we get for cheap and sell on for profit in 3-4 years' time. Yeah, I think that's certainly a large part of the recruitment is definitely geared towards that. I don't think that's I don't think that's unfair to say. Absolutely don't think that's unfair to say at all. I mean, Unai Emery's already said that a couple of days ago already said there's no plans to send him on loan. So yeah, I really don't know. But yeah, I mean, again, Emery's reiterated his desire to keep hold of him. So yeah, I don't get it. Unless we sign a striker capable of scoring 15, 20 goals from now to the end of the season, what's even the point? Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. If we can't get someone in that's either an experienced stopgap signing, then for me, let's stick with what we've got and address it in the summer. You know, for me, it's either an experienced player on loan, or we don't do anything and we wait till the summer. Because as far as I'm concerned, Ivan Toney and Victor Osimhen, those men aren't leaving this month. No chance they're leaving this month. I'm just not seeing it. I said I absolutely agree, bro. Absolutely agree. In Kunku and Jackson returning soon, we don't need. Well, Jackson's not returning that soon. Depending on how well Senegal do, Jackson could be missing for at least another 3 weeks. So yeah, I wouldn't get too excited and too carried away on that front, guys. There's 71 in the building, 59 likes. Let's get this up to 70 likes. Next port of call. Keep smashing that like button. You know, we could definitely hit 100 likes tonight, guys. So please keep smashing the like button. It's the quickest and easiest way of supporting the channel. So if you're locked in now and you haven't smashed that like button, make sure you do. And please also subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Remember, guys, if we hit 8,000 subscribers before the end of the transfer window, then there will be a giveaway. Currently on 7,565. Let's see if we can get 5 more subs to get this to 7,570, guys. Come on, people. I know it's a big ask and it's a big push to get to 8K before the end of the transfer window. But, guys, do your thing. Get your friends to subscribe. Get your family to subscribe. All that good stuff. But, yeah, make sure you run those likes up. Run those likes up. So, yeah. What else have we got? What's happened with the Dybala link? Nothing. Dybala's release clause that was active to clubs outside of Serie A, that's expired now. He's not going anywhere. Look, I've talked about this earlier. In theory, yes, but the reality is I don't think it does. We can try signing Osimhen this Jan, then get him in the summer. I don't see that happening either. I don't think Napoli are going to play ball on that. Plus, Osimhen's obviously fully focusing on the African Cup of Nations at the moment as well. Look, if we're going to do a short-term loan deal, then I'd be more inclined to look towards Roberto Firmino. That is what I would. That's a player that I would prefer to go for out of the two. Let's actually talk about Victor Osimhen, because I'm pretty sure that Fabrizio Romano has had a few things to say either today or the other day on Victor Osimhen and Chelsea's pursuit of him. Let me see if I can find it. There's something about apparently Chelsea have got no interest in paying 120 million euros for Osimhen this month. But let's have a look. Let's see if I can find it. Because look, as much you think if a deal of this magnitude was going to happen, we're over 2 weeks into the window now. It seems unlikely that this is gonna materialize in my opinion. But let's wait and see on that front. But yeah, I think it was basically that Chelsea were kind of reluctant to spend 120 million euros or thereabouts on Victor Osimhen this month, and would probably rather wait until the summer, which I get, which I understand. But when you wait till the summer, you get other suitors in, and then you're kind of in trouble because, I guess Real Madrid, maybe PSG, other teams potentially. Yeah, it's gonna be a problem, and it massively reduces our chances of getting a player, which is why we had to act fast and get Enzo done in January, because if we went to the summer, we wouldn't have got him. How would Firmino do? I don't know is the answer to that. It'd just be good to try and keep them both fit if he were to come in. No, I don't think that will happen. I personally think not. I don't want to spend big on a striker in the summer because I've got this feeling they might flop. Well, yeah, ultimately at the end of the day, there's always going to be that worry. But there's not much we can do. There's not much that we can do about it. If he we can't control that. But yeah, I'm always a bit hesitant when Chelsea are linked with signing a big striker because yes, it's exciting because it's like the marquee position on the pitch, but at the same time, we've had so many big money signings come in for that centre forward position, and so many of them, time after time, have just flopped and flopped hard. So yeah, I'm just a little bit concerned. I can't lie, a little bit concerned about it all. I don't know. Look, to be fair, right, a lot of decent players in the French league. The success rate from signing from France to the Premier League is big. The hit rate is high. You get some really good signings out of the French league. So I wouldn't write the French league off. But yeah, I mean, I personally wouldn't be jumping to join the French league. But they absolutely get decent. You can get decent signings from the French league. No two ways about it. No two ways about it. So yeah, let's see on that front. But in terms of centre forwards, obviously we've had the links with John Duran, which is a bit odd. Obviously, stuff coming out today. Chelsea might look to Saudi in terms of Karim Benzema and Roberto Firmino. Potentially, Firmino would be available for loan. Benzema maybe towards the end of the window if he really wants out. But those deals would potentially be quite difficult to do. Other than that, no other real links with centre forwards. Chelsea again, a deal for Victor Osimhen is going to be pretty difficult. And then we've also had Thomas Frank again today speaking about Ivan Toney. So this is again seems unlikely that Toney's going to be going anywhere this month. And I think he owes it to Brentford anyway to stay for at least the rest of the season, given how much they're struggling this season. Brentford boss Thomas Frank on Ivan Toney. It will be great to get him involved. I think it's very clear. I don't want to let him go. I want to keep him as long as possible, and I only have that in my mind. My only focus is getting him ready for Nottingham Forest on Saturday. So, yeah, for me, there's no way Ivan Toney's leaving this window. I don't even think anyone puts a bid in for him, if I'm being perfectly honest. I think they know the stance. Yes, maybe in the last week or so of the window, teams might test the waters for him. But yeah, I'm personally not seeing it. I'm personally not seeing it. If I'm being really, really honest, I'm not seeing it. But you can never say never. But all the noise that's coming out of Brentford, from the manager, all the noise that's come out from Ivan Toney himself, I think he knows that he's going to stay put for the rest of the season. So if you're looking at it now, the two big name centre forwards that Chelsea have been linked with in terms of Victor Osimhen and Ivan Toney, I don't see either one of those guys moving on this month, moving on this month and joining this month. I can't see it. So for me, Chelsea are either going to sign no one, or they're going to try and find a stopgap solution on loan. So the main target we want, I personally right now as of 15th of January, I don't see the main target coming in at all. I just don't see it happening. We're not going to get the big centre forward that we're looking for this month. That would be in my opinion right now. No is the answer to that. Do you not think Toney would be a risk in Jan anyway, considering he hasn't played much football this season? Yes, potentially, but it's not like he's been injured. He's been playing behind closed doors games. He's been training hard. Yes, match fitness won't be the sharpest, but it's not like he's coming back from a long-term injury. I think he'll be sharp when he returns on Saturday. All eyes will be on him. I don't think he'll start or anything. He'll obviously come off the bench. But yeah, let's wait and see. Yeah, I think if Toney's going to go at the earliest, it will be the summer. But again, Ornstein said in the past, like, don't rule out Toney leaving on a free in 2025. That again is still a potential possibility. So that's kind of covers off the centre forwards, guys. Like some news, but no real concrete news, as it were. Let's talk about another player that Chelsea have been linked with and we're potentially going to sign this summer until it all went a bit tits up for sort of reasons that never really were publicised. But let's bring it up. Mark Ogden of ESPN. Chelsea are also interested in Michael Olise again, and he's expected to be allowed to leave Palace in the summer. Let me just bring the whole article up, see if there's any more details in it. But obviously, Chelsea were very close to getting Olise for his £35 million release clause in the summer, and then I don't know what happened. Maybe a few dodgy goings on, and the deal kind of collapsed. And I don't know what the relationship with Crystal Palace is like. We were obviously, Lewis Hall was very close to going there on loan. And I think just the whole relationship after the Olise thing kind of collapsed a little bit. And yeah, things didn't go particularly well. Right, let me have a look at this. So obviously we know that Man United are obviously keen on Olise as well. They could include Wan-Bissaka in a move. Olise, 22, signed a 4-year contract at Palace last August after rejecting a move to Chelsea. But the France under-21 international is expected to be allowed to leave this summer as part of rebuilding plans at the club. Sources have said that Liverpool and Chelsea are also interested in Olise, who spent time at City as a youngster, but United's readiness to part with Wan-Bissaka as part of a deal could prove persuasive to Palace. Anything else? No, so there's nothing major there. But look, let's think about this, right? For me, I tweeted it out earlier. If we can sell Sterling in the summer and bring in Olise, that's a massive upgrade, in my opinion, a huge upgrade. Yes, the experience factor is a potential problem, but you would then be left with wide options of Mudryk, Madueke, Cole Palmer, and Michael Olise. And then you've got Christopher and Nkunku in the mix as well. That's serious options. That is serious options. So look, we know that Chelsea like Olise. We know that there's been interest there from the summer. If Chelsea were to sign him, we would have to offload someone, whether it was Madueke or whoever it might end up being. But Chelsea can't just bring in Olise without offloading someone. Yes, you can look at it. What would happen to Angelo and players like that? I personally feel that he's one of those that is just going to be a guy that's is loaned out for a while around the multi-club system, and then he's sold for profit. That's kind of how I see that one. How I see that one going, people. That is how I see it going. Guys, 68 likes. Let's try and get this to 100 likes. There's still 68 in the building. Keep smashing that like button. It's free and it takes seconds. And please do smash the subscribe button as well, as it is greatly appreciated. And we hit 8K subscribers before the end of the month, there will be a giveaway, guys. But yeah, keep running those likes up. Let's get it done. Why would he want to go to... Yeah, United is a career graveyard at the moment. I think Olise would only have to look at what's happened to Jadon Sancho and see that, United would be, a bit of a red flag club to go and sign for if you're kind of a young player with a lot of talent. Let's wait and see on that front. But yeah, I think Olise for me would be great for Chelsea. You've got options there, as I said: Olise, Madueke, Mudryk, Cole Palmer, Nkunku, Jackson, whoever the elite centre forward might be. Remember when Jose used to build squads right back in the day when he was first here? 2 quality players in every position. Madueke and Olise one side, Mudryk and Cole Palmer the other, or whatever way you want to make up. If you had wide options, right, of Mudryk, Madueke, Olise and Cole Palmer, with Nkunku in the mix as well, Jackson, a world-class centre-forward, that is suddenly a very, very good squad. Very good squad planning and all that jazz. So, yeah, I personally don't get why. Look, for me, yes, I would like to get Michael Olise at Chelsea. The reality of the situation is we would have to sell someone. A wide player would have to go. We haven't got space to bring him in as well without anyone moving on. Sterling would be the ideal candidate to move on. He's playing probably just about well enough to manufacture some interest in him for the summer. Again, the wages are massive. I'm just not convinced that there's going to be. I don't think there's going to be any takers for Sterling. I just think we're going to be kind of stuck with him. That's the main one. That's the main one. Yes, Super Bro, big up. Upgrade Sterling, fair enough. Strange why Olise didn't sign for Chelsea last summer. I don't think it was just down to him. I think there's I think perhaps we might have, maybe approached the situation in the wrong way. Maybe I don't say an illegal approach to Olise, but we've obviously acted in a way that Palace really didn't like. And perhaps Olise didn't like either. But I think Olise was at Cobham. His brother, I think, is still in the Chelsea academy at the moment. He has got links to the club, and it would make sense, but we would absolutely have to offload someone. Yeah, maybe, but again, I can't really see a Saudi team wanting to sign Sterling, if I'm being brutally honest. I can't see it. I mean, maybe they would, but would Sterling want to go and make a move to Saudi? I don't know. I don't know if he would. That is my honest answer. It's so hard to tell because it depends what everyone else does. It depends how said elite striker would fit into the squad. I don't know. Right now, for me, at best, this team is a top 6, top 7 team at the moment. Right now, but look, with a few more pieces added to it, it could certainly become a top 4, top 5 side. But I'm reluctant to say, oh yeah, add a world-class forward and then suddenly this is a top 4 team, because I don't think that's the case at all. But absolutely, Olise would be an upgrade on Raheem Sterling, in my opinion. And Raheem Sterling would be the one that Chelsea should look to get rid of. Although, as much as I like Madueke and as much as he's playing himself back into contention and whatnot, I would be surprised if Madueke, if both Mudryk and Madueke were both here at the start of next season. I know that might sound a bit crazy, but I would be surprised if they were both here. I'd love to be wrong, but I'm not sure that they both will be here. That's just my honest opinion on the matter. I could be wrong, but yeah, Olise, interest still there from Chelsea. We know Man United have got interest. They've got Wan-Bissaka that they could obviously offer as a sweet enough a part of the deal that would perhaps appeal to Crystal Palace. But let's wait and see. But for me, Chelsea would have to move someone else on in order to bring Olise in. But I would absolutely love to see Michael Olise at Stamford Bridge next season. Yes, Lobo, big up, brother. Not an Enzo fan. The league looks too quick for him. And Enzo, I think Enzo's been good this season. I thought it was brilliant against Fulham on Saturday. He's still finding his feet. He's not even been here a year yet. And I've got no doubts over him. Again, Onana from Everton would be a good player, a good signing. But problem is, I look at it and I think, how many more midfield players do we need? We've got Enzo, we've got Caicedo, we've got Conor Gallagher, we've got Romeo Lavia, we've got Andre Santos, we've got Cesare Casadei. We've got so many. If another midfield player were to come in, which I don't think can be entirely ruled out, someone would need to leave. Someone would have to leave, and I don't know who that someone would be. Obviously, Conor Gallagher would be the prime candidate, but him actually leaving, I don't know how likely that could turn out to be. I don't know how likely that would be. Yes. Run it up, people. Subscribe. Help get me to 8K. I know it's still a little bit of a way to go. Have we added any subs today? Yeah, we've added an extra one. Let's see if we can get 4 more to get to 7,570. We're still about 430 subs away from the 8K. It's going to be a big push. It's probably going to require some big breaking transfer news as well to help me get there, but let's wait and see. Enzo settling into the squad. Yeah, he absolutely is. But let's move away from this Michael Olise stuff then, people. And let's move on to quickly about Ian Maatsen and Borussia Dortmund. Obviously, we knew that he signed a new two-year contract extension at Chelsea to take him through to 2027. And built in Germany, I've said that Ian Maatsen's clause is said to be around £30 million. However, a right of first refusal for Dortmund this summer is said to have not been agreed upon. Matt Law subsequently, in a further article, confirming that actually Ian Maatsen's release clause is actually £35 million. If I can find it. Let's see. Yes, this one here. Ian Maatsen has a £35 million release clause in his Chelsea contract, which the club are expected to demand is met for him to leave permanently in the summer. 35 million. Ian Maatsen, if he has a good 6 months on loan at Dortmund, I don't expect it to be a problem to get that much money for him. We got offered £31.5 million for him from Burnley last summer. So if he plays well for 6 months at Dortmund, I don't see why anyone would have an issue with paying for someone of his age and his quality and his potential. £35 million would be a pretty good price for him. So look, I didn't watch him for Dortmund at the weekend. He obviously started at left back. I think he had a half decent game. And long may that continue in terms of decent games for him. And then let's see if he can, put himself in the shot window. And see if we can get £35 million from him. If we were to get £35 million for him, I think that would be a very, very good deal. No two ways about it. No denying it. It would be a very, very good deal, guys. So yeah, that's the Ian Maatsen news. £35 million release clause. Dortmund are believed to not have a first refusal on that deal. But let's wait and see how it goes. But Maatsen absolutely needs to play regularly for the second half of the season, and he needs to play well. And then there's going to be obviously more interest in him, and teams are going to be more likely to want to pay the £35 million release clause, which I actually think is a fair price for Ian Maatsen, given his age, given his versatility, given his potential in this market. I actually think that's a pretty fair deal, and I would absolutely take that for him. But let's hope he does well for 6 months, because he deserves an opportunity to go and play. Part of me still feels a little bit disappointed that he never got a go at left back at Chelsea, just so he could see what he potentially could do. But that's life. So that's kind of where we are. Let's move on to the news now about Christopher Nkunku. Obviously, he's missed the last 3 games. Preston, Preston, Middlesbrough, and Fulham at the weekend. But according to Nazar Kinsella and backed up by Matt Law, Nkunku is pushing to return to training this week in a boost for Chelsea. And he's obviously hopeful that he can be part of the squad for the Middlesbrough game next week. Christopher Nkunku hopes to return to training this week, easing fears at Chelsea over his hip injury. He's been unable to train for 2 weeks, and Pochettino admitted last week he was worried about the extent of the issue. But Nkunku is optimistic he will be fit to return when Chelsea face Middlesbrough in the Carabao Cup semi-final on January 23rd. Nkunku returning would be a major boost for Chelsea. He missed the first 4 months of the season with a knee injury and has made just 1 Premier League start since joining. His unavailability has been a major issue for Chelsea, who plan to build their attack around the French international. Pochettino appeared to suggest last week that Nkunku's latest injury could prompt Chelsea to move for a new striker, but played down the comments after the 1-0 win against Fulham at the weekend. Chelsea continue to weigh out their transfer options for January, but have limited funds to sign a top-level striker this month due to Premier League spending rules. So, yeah, that's kind of it. So Nkunku obviously hopefully going to be back. Again, he's not trained for 2 weeks, so I don't want a situation where we're rushing him back to training. We're rushing him back for this game. If we're being perfectly honest, if he can get some minutes in this game, fantastic. If he can get some minutes against Villa, fantastic. But I think if he can try and be ready for that Liverpool game, then that's going to be a big plus if he can be ready for the Liverpool game at the end of the month. But I've just got to take it easy with him because, he started one game since he came back and then he's already injured again. That's not what we're wanting, people. That is not what we are wanting. Guys, we're 20 likes away from 100 likes and there's still 70 people locked in the building. So please do smash that like button. Let's run this up to 100 likes as quickly as possible. It's the quickest and easiest way to support myself and the channel. So please do continue to smash that like button if you haven't done so already. Let's get this up to 100 likes, guys. 20 more. Do your thing, people. Do your thing. What else are we looking at here? He will at least be ready for Liverpool game. Let's hope so. Dream signing would be Teo Hernandez. Yeah, I mean, I can't see that happening, unfortunately. He will be at least ready for Liverpool game. Let's hope so. Journalists were telling us for weeks how close Nkunku was making his debut. Yeah. No, I hear it. I hear it. I want him for the Liverpool game. Yeah, we could do with him for that one. We're going to have to tick along till summer for a striker. Yeah, that right now, obviously, things can change very quickly in football. But right now, that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. That's the vibe that I'm feeling is that Chelsea are probably going to look to do something in the summer for a centre forward. I don't see a main striker coming in this month. Again, I could be very wrong. But I don't see that. I don't see that being the case whatsoever. I don't see it being the case at all. So yeah, let's wait and see what happens on that front, people. It's such a shame we've not been able to see much of Nkunku at all. One start against Crystal Palace and 3 substitute appearances. Yes, he got a goal against Wolves, which is great on his PL debut. But other than that, we've seen very, very little of him. And I just don't want us to rush. But I just now got this worry with Nkunku that he's going to be susceptible to picking up injuries. And it's just, we really want him. We really need him. I'm just a little bit concerned. Just a little bit concerned about what this guy, what's going to happen to this guy, what this brother's going to do. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think, people. I don't know what to think right now. Yeah, no balloon celebration yet either. We haven't seen it. I'd like, if all goes well, then yes. Then yeah, why not? But it's not as simple as that if all goes well, because all doesn't go very well at Chelsea. In regards to injuries, that's a big if for things to go well. So, yeah, I don't know, but look, it's great that Nkunku is potentially going to return to training this week, but the geezer's not trained for 2 weeks. So, whatever this hip issue is, has obviously been a lot more serious than has kind of been being let on. So yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with that one. Do you know what? I'll be honest. I haven't actually watched any yet. I know they're all on Sky, so I probably will tune into some, maybe in the latter stages. But I haven't watched any yet. But yeah, there's a lot of talent in Africa. There's a lot of talented African players. So yeah, I haven't watched any yet, but I will definitely tune into some of the African Cup of Nations. For sure, people. For sure, I definitely will do that. What about Lavia? No idea. It's all gone very quiet on Romeo Lavia, which is not necessarily great news, people. Not necessarily great news. I don't know if he was. He missed the World Cup with an injury. I think he missed half the season with Leipzig last year. I wouldn't say he's injury prone, but he has picked up a couple of big injuries during his career, which, all right, it's not ideal, guys. It's not ideal, but I wouldn't say he was injury prone. It's just, to be honest, mate, I wore a beanie because it was well cold, and then yeah, I didn't have a hat with me. They may well have let me wear a hat. But yeah, but the hair and makeup done me dirty. They fucking they proper flattened my hair. So I mean, the hair's not the best anyway. But they flattened it and it looked proper shit. But yeah, no, I know. Do you know what it is though? It's because if I had the needle in the ball properly from the start, I would have got an extra ball and I would have been top of the table. So yeah, fine margins. A bit like Chelsea, fine margins, but I just came up short. but at least I beat Spurs. What about Reece James? Will he return soon? I think Reece James is looking at the end of February, start of March at the earliest possibility. I was surprised that Jackson didn't start for Senegal. Jackson doesn't tend to start for Senegal. Jackson isn't actually a starter for Senegal, which is I don't want to say it's interesting or anything, but he's not really a starter for him. Right, let's move away from Nkunku, people. Let's look at let's quickly discuss Reece James. Reece James he's been quiet recently. There's not been an awful lot about him, but Reece James has taken to Instagram this afternoon, saying that he is on the mend and he hopes and wishes that everyone is doing well. So it's good to see that Reece is on the mend. Let's hope that he's taking all the time that he needs. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. Well, I'm not saying he's not doing that. Just take your time, champ. Take your time. You've got a capable player in Malagusto who's doing the business for us. Take your time, brother. Take your time. But it's good to see that Reece is a little update from Reece there. And again, I think the initial prognosis was around end of February, sort of start of March time for a potential return. But again, this is a player that we won't rush. This is a player that will be overly cautious with. And let's kind of see what happens with Reece if we get any more updates, over the course of the next month or so. I'm sure there'll be some stuff. Yeah, I'll always be worried about Reece. I think the worry will be kind of the first sort of 3 or 4 games back. What's going to happen? How's he going to be? Yeah, we have to. This is the one thing that's not been done before was the surgery, and so you've got to hope that this is going to work. I don't even want to think about if he goes down again, even after having the surgery. I just don't want to think about it. So yeah, I just don't want to think about that. But that would be devastating. So let's hope that doesn't happen. No idea. Absolutely no idea. Maybe in 5 or 6 weeks' time. I just don't know. I don't know is the answer to that question. But yeah, there is Reece back he's obviously in the gym doing his rehab. So yeah, wish him all the best. What was I going to say? I was going to cover something and I'd forgotten about it. Oh yeah. For everyone that doesn't quite understand the profit and sustainability rules and why Chelsea have been cleared, this basically explains it. So let me just bring it up on the screen now. So this is from BBC Sport. So what about Chelsea? Obviously been asked about that. So despite some speculation, Chelsea have always believed they're compliant with football's financial rules, even with the massive outlay on transfers over the past 18 months under the Clearlake ownership group. The Blues have spent about $1 billion on players, but the way they have gone about it has changed the way transfers are dealt with in the Premier League. The offering of extra long contracts, for example, the Enzo Fernandez 8-year deal following his £106 million transfer meant the club could stretch the payment of the fee over the length of his contract. That tactic is called amortization, and after Chelsea did it with a number of their signings, Premier League clubs have voted to limit the time a club can spread the cost of a transfer over a player's contract to 5 years. Chelsea would also point to the £450 million in player sales they have brought into the club. The selling of academy graduates such as Loftus-Cheek, Mason Mount, and the loan deal involving Lewis Hall has seen the club be able to put a huge amount of pure profit in their books. So there we go. So that is why Chelsea are compliant with Premier League profit and sustainability rules and will be safe again for another year. That is why, because of the player sales that we've done, and a lot of those have been academy players, so it's pure profit on the books. The fact we've been able to spread the cost of contracts over, spread the cost of fees over 7-8 year contracts. These are all reasons as to why we are compliant with FFP and profit and sustainability rules within the Premier League. That is why, because of those things that we have been doing. Guys, 87 likes. There's 80 in the building. Smash that like button. And let's get this up to 100 likes. 13 more. Should be light work, people. Run it up, run it up. Let's get it done, guys. Let's get it done. So, yeah, of course, there was great outrage today when it was Everton and Nottingham Forest and not Chelsea. People seem to think that, how can we possibly be spending all this money and be within the rules? it's because you can accuse these owners of a lot of things, but one thing they aren't stupid, and they are smart businessmen coming in, loopholes with deals, loopholes with finances, and this is why we're compliant, because of the amount of player sales we've made, the amount of pure profit player sales we've made, and the fact that we are amortizing deals over multiple years, which looks much better on the books. So yeah, there's nothing for us to worry about in regards to that. In terms of the historic allegations that are going back to deals we did in 2013, Willian Samueletto, I think those are still being investigated. There's been no charges brought against the club on that. So as of now, Chelsea are in the clear. Obviously, that's still being investigated, but there's no charges have been brought forward on that one. So yeah, yeah, things might not be amazing right now of Chelsea in terms of on the pitch and what's going on, but in terms of finances, in terms of FFP, it's all good. It is all good, people, on that front. FFP is a must for us to build this club back up. Right. I would love for you and Lewis to do a video together. No, me and Lewis have done quite a few videos together in the past. But yeah, no, he's got different views to me, which is fine. Everyone's entitled to their own views. I don't necessarily agree with all of his views, but yeah, Lewis, my guy, it's all good. They're not stupid, but got tricked by Winstanley and Stewart to invest in a miraculous kids project. Yeah, no, fair. If you want a striker, go for Benzema. I want a wizard, a guy like Bobby Firmino, no doubt. Look, for me, as I said at the start, Benzema, yes, is a bigger name, is more appealing on face value, but actually, if you think more into it, Firmino would make more sense. He would be more readily able to come in and make kind of the instant impact that we would be looking for. That he absolutely would. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'll see if I can make that happen. Of course, yeah, it shouldn't be too difficult to happen. But yeah, I'll try and make that happen during the window if possible. Guys, 9 more likes, 76 in the building. Let's run this up to the 100 likes mark. Come on, people. Let's keep it moving. Right. Honestly, just feels like butthurt Royal fans. Yeah, no, they are. They can't seem to get their heads around or understand how we could possibly be compliant with these rules. But it doesn't take much to kind of work it out. It doesn't take much at all. So yeah, more shame on them. They can go and cry more, but we know the situation. We know the situation here. But yeah, we're safe for another year. I'm not saying that next year might not be a problem, but for right now, we're fine. We're fine for another year. No problems on that one. No problems at all in regards to that. What else has been going on with Chelsea? What are you people saying in the chat? Todd is smart. Yeah, no, he absolutely is. He absolutely is, guys. There's no denying that. But yeah, I mean, in terms of other potential deals, there's not too much in the offing. We're still lacking any concrete links to anyone really, other than the potential Saudi stuff. Jean Duran from Aston Villa. Other than that, still over 2 weeks into the window now, and there still hasn't been an awful lot of movement. Because he's not really that relevant. The Benzema, Firmino, and Olise stuff was more relevant. That's going to get more people in rather than John Duran. But yeah, I look. Obviously, you can't rule anything out with Chelsea, but yeah, I mean, surely even by our standards, we're not going to bring John Duran in. Surely not. I mean, please. Let's hope that's. Let's hope that isn't the case. John Duran. Fuck me. Let's hope it doesn't happen. No disrespect to the kid. Want to hear? Yeah, we were live when we got the Here We Go for Moises Caicedo last summer. So yeah, that was big. That was massive. But yeah, no, not too much else is going on. I don't understand. He's 20 years old. He's younger than Brayo and Jackson. Yeah, look, again, it's been discussed internally. No final decision has been made on it. But yeah, it really doesn't make an awful lot of sense, to be brutally honest. Yeah, no, it absolutely does. You know, I'm surprised at how little business has been done this January window in the Premier League and just in general, you know, Spurs have probably done the most business. Obviously, Dragusin coming in from Genoa, and then obviously they bought in Timo Werner on loan. But in terms of other Premier League clubs, there's been very, very little business. You know, not an awful lot of money's been spent. The standards is that we asked for it when we fired Tuchel and sold the whole squad. Dybala's not coming to Chelsea. The release clause in his contract was valid until the 15th of January. It's the 15th today, so it's not valid anymore. How would you feel if we did sign him? Look, I'd obviously give the kid a chance. Of course I would, like everyone that signs for the club, but I'd be fuming, to be honest. Nothing whatever. Yeah, the Enzo here we go was unreal. It was unreal. I can't lie. Nothing will top that Enzo Fernandez. Here we go. It was crazy. It was massive, and yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Day to day, we signed Enzo. Yeah, no, it's not a day to day. Enzo was deadline day. Mudryk, we signed this day last year is when we signed Mikhailo Mudryk. Cheers. I don't think Bro is good enough. If we could get 30 million from him in the summer, it would be great. Yeah, I absolutely agree, brother. I fully agree on that front. If we could get 30 million for him in the summer, then I would take it and run. Guys, 5 more likes. 5 more likes to the 100 mark. Let's hit it. Let's hit the 100 likes, people. 5 more to go. 76 still in the building. Yeah, Timo who? But yeah, I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen for the rest of the window. You know, obviously there's a left back position that potentially might get addressed as well. I watched the whole Fab live stream. It was like 5-1. It was such a great day. Yeah, mate, he does it. So, sponsored by the friends at Heineken. I mean, it's great. It's the place to go for your live streams, isn't it? It's the place to go on deadline day, other than here, of course. So, you know, yeah, it's those last summer and last January were 2 of the craziest windows ever. Certainly for Chelsea, but just in general. Obviously, this January, maybe it'll explode into life, but as of yet, not really seeing a great deal of stuff going on. And let's see if that changes in the last 2 weeks. But it's certainly not great, is it? Right now, it's a bit boring. This has been a flurry of news today, or a flurry of like reports and a little bit of activity. But again, when you actually dig down into it, it's nothing really concrete, is it, people? Nothing really concrete. 2 likes of 100. Run it up, people. Run it up. Look, in theory, sounds great. The reality of the situation is wages are ridiculous. Loan fee would be ridiculous. Is he the right character to come into this dressing room? He's not been playing well in Saudi Arabia for 6 months. For me, stinks of a Higuain, a Falcao, and Alexandre Pato type deal. And the baggage that it brings is just not worth it. The cons far outweigh the pros for me. Fantastic. There's been a new signing for Northampton Town. Excellent. Poch out, and we need to bring in Steve Cooper. Yeah, that's obviously banter. Hi, came in now. What have I missed? Just general stuff on strikers. Potentially Roberto Firmino or Karim Benzema might be looked at as a short-term deal. Links to John Duran, some 20-year-old Aston Villa striker. Yeah, let's wait and see. Halfway through the 3rd window out of our 4-window plan. Yeah, we were told we're 2 windows into a 4-window plan. We're now 2.5 windows into a 4-window plan, and yeah, thus far the 4-window plan not looking great. Not looking great. We should also be pulling out the stops to sign. Yeah, this is banter. You and Lewis, most watch fan TV people, if you did a live or video together. It certainly could do well. So yeah, I'll try and get that sorted. Yeah, Lampard was at the game at Fulham. I saw him. I didn't see him personally, but I saw him there. I could see him in the box. Yeah, I wouldn't read too much into that. Points deduction. I think simple as that. I personally think Benzema ends up staying. And Firmino, it could be anywhere. Could be anywhere. Poch thought his job was on the line when he saw Lampard in the Fulham game. Yeah, maybe he did. So, well, mate, I wouldn't speak too soon on that, mate, because that could very, very quickly change. Depends. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. We are fine with FFP. Yep, we are. No, I wouldn't put the players off, but I think it's a bit of banter. It's like, oh shit, we need to win this game so he doesn't come back for part 3. That sort of vibe, guys. Run the likes up. Still a couple short. Keep smashing that like button. 68 in the building, guys. Keep smashing that like button. We're on 100 likes now. Big up to everyone that's liked the stream. Let's try and get this over 100 likes. Keep smashing the like button. It's free and it takes seconds. But yeah, people, I've got to feel bad for Everton fans. Yeah, you do have to feel a bit sorry for them. You really do. Don't want Benzema at Chelsea. No, I agree. Guys, I'm going to round this one out here. Big up to everyone that's that locked in tonight. Great stream as always. Thank you so much for taking part, getting your things in the chat. As always, guys, it's greatly appreciated. Let's see what tomorrow has in store for us in terms of any transfer news, any general Chelsea news. But yeah, guys, on the way out, please keep smashing that like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Remember, 8,000 subscribers before the end of this month, and I will do a giveaway. So make sure you are subscribing. Make sure you get your friends, family, whoever else it is to subscribe to the channel. Enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. Love and guidance. I'm out of here. Peace.